Check. Been a long time. Been a long, long time. All right. All right, let's get this party started. So, looking at the I'm looking at the 6B. I'm looking to short. I'm going to short this. And I don't want to just short it out of the box. But I do like 128.63. I figured overnight when got about a half hour before Tokyo opens, and I figured it'd be a little pop. And then it will be a good short. Also like the euro short as well. Given, look, I know everyone's ecstatic, but, there was one pretty interesting headline that came out, and I think it actually sums up exactly what happened in the last week or so with these European elections, is that crushing debts await Europe's new leaders. And with all these left-wing people winning elections, it's going to come down to spending money, right? And they're going to need to cut rates. They're going to have to ease monetary policy regardless of inflation, because they're not going to be able to get their money any other way. And there you have it. And so, to me, that's kind of the story of this whole entire election cycle going on over in Europe. And so that's kind of how I'm playing it. I'm doing 6B. 6E, you can probably... I'm not going to go into active trader just yet. But you can probably even look at the FXE, which is the euro, the currency ETF. It's kind of a piece of garbage. It doesn't really have a lot of volume, but there's nothing really you're going to be able to do in this other than just like buy some puts. And I do like some puts in here, and they're cheap. So you really don't have to get too crazy and too expensive with these. And I would just go out. I mean, the spreads in this thing are absolutely horrific. You have to wait till they open. But if they do tighten, I do like the 100 puts in here, the FXE. And I would go out to like September, even probably December even. And this product itself sucks. There's no question about it. The product sucks. It's not very good. You really don't have any real alternatives for the euro other than the future. Or if you want to get cute, you can do the micro, which is the M6E, which is the micro contract. Doesn't have too much liquidity, but it's a lot cheaper than buying than doing the full-blown contract. I think the margins are pretty, talking $254 at Schwab. And you could probably do better if you go to a futures broker like Amped or something like that, or, if you're using Dorman, or who's another futures broker, Tradeavat. You could probably, the margins are probably a lot even cheaper. I think even on Tasty Trade, I think the margins on this are like $200 or like 180 something. So, this is another way to play this one as well. And then you short the micro. And that's kind of how I'm playing this election business going on over there. I don't think it's going to be a collapse by any means, but I do think these currencies are going to get I think they're going to take a little bit of a whooping, because I think the financial markets know, what's going to happen. And we will see, but that's pretty much on deck. And then you can see really, like, out of the gate here, the dollar is getting a little bit of life from this, because look, face it, Europe is going to be UK and France, they're going to be spending money. They're going to be looking to print money, and there you have it. So that's kind of all I have to say about the euro and the election and that sort of thing. Looking at the ES, we'll jump into that a little bit, and we'll expand this. We're looking at a 4-hour chart. There's really not much to really look at. I've been kind of slicing and dicing this thing as much as I possibly can, but there's only so much you can do with this. This darn market is just so damn resilient and so powerful right now. It's disgusting. And it's like short at your own risk. I mean, it hasn't been just a buy the dip either. If you've been buying dips, but you've been buying dips in the wrong place, you can kind of get cut apart pretty hard. So, but other than that, this market has been, and then we'll go into like the 5-day 987 tick. This market's been tough. It's been really tough. So here's what it looks like on a tick chart. We've kind of been sitting in this range up here. If you look even at like a weekly chart, we've been sitting around here for a while. I expect us to come back down below 56, honey. My space is about the 56 or 55.90 area down in here as kind of a wheelhouse to maybe get long if all things remain the same. That would be a great spot right down here. This 55.90, which is basically like a swing low from back early on Friday. And so kind of see us retracing back down there, and that's kind of where I'm going to be looking for areas to possibly get long again. I'm not going to short this here as much as this looks juicy to short right now. It's just been, especially the aftermarket trades have been absolutely just ruthless, because we haven't really gotten a lot of movement after hours. After hours has been dead. It's been dead. So, that's kind of the story on the ES. And then we would flip over into the this one here. The active trader here. You could see if we actually zoom out on this. We've been kind of trudging higher and higher, and you can see these are support resistance, and we're pretty much probably going to be range bound again. And then R1 or S1 for today is 55.93. S1 55.93. So I'm going to be looking at that. I already have it on my chart, but you might want to mark that as kind of an area of interest, that if we do breach that, and specifically if it happens It'd be perfect if it happens tomorrow morning, honestly, but it may happen overnight. If it does, it sucks. But if we breach that, that would be, to me, an area that you want to start being interested in the possibility of getting long here. Again, all else remaining the same. No crazy news comes out about much of anything, and kind of go that route. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in ES. Outside of that, I'm going to be looking at all these areas tomorrow for possibly long entries. And really, the wheelhouse for me is S1 and S2. S2 55.83. So anywhere in there. So once we breach that 55.93, I'm going to be looking to get long. I'd be looking to get long all the way down to 55.83. Again, I say that, I don't want to be ambiguous, but there might be. It all depends on how we get to those numbers. I always say that when you trade these pivots like this, it all depends on how you get to that number. If you get to that number with really any kind of force, momentum, and real violently, chances are that those numbers are not going to support. If we get down to that number and it's fairly relatively graceful, those numbers have a lot better chance of holding. So that's kind of what we wait for when we look for those entries. So that's kind of the story there on the ES. As far as stocks are concerned, I don't know. I mean, I was looking through some charts on some stocks earlier, and I had sent out a few. But when you start looking, I mean, what do you say? I mean, you can't short these. I mean, you really can't. I mean, shorts have just gotten completely torn apart in the bigs. Apple, Microsoft, any of those. I mean, so those are kind of off the table when it comes to trying to look for a short. And it's been really tough to short any stocks specifically overall. The things I like actually shorting, and I don't know if do I have a list of them here? Yes. No, this list sucks. I have to update my lists here. I have not used Thinkorswim in years. I was using TradingView, but TradingView is even now starting to become a piece of shit. I'm getting annoyed with them because it seems like every time I click around in TradingView, they're asking me for an upcharge. It's like, oh, have you exhausted all, I'm in the pro, I already pay, and I think I'm paying decent amount. I think I paid $400 for like a 2-year deal or something like that. But anyway, it seems like every time it's like, oh, you've exhausted all the options in this. Oh, do you want to upgrade? It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. You're making so much money from all these other vendors and these brokers offering their stuff. I mean, come on, give me a break. But anyway, so that's why I'm trying to get away from them too, because they're just becoming money hungry slobs. So I have to actually update my lists on in Schwab because I really have not used Thinkorswim in a long time. And I actually forgot what a pretty solid platform it is. It's really solid. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's a little quirky here and there. I mean, it gets a little trudgy, but honestly, I can't say that. I used it for years, and I'm actually starting to reuse it again because TradingView just isn't not real happy with what's going on there. So anyway, you have to get some lists here, but there is a couple of ETFs I was looking at. One was the Jets, the JE, not the New York Jets, but the JETS, Jets, which is the. And we'll put this on the 5 days, not going to do the 20-day 1 hour. Actually, the 4-hour chart looks the best, the 184 hour. I like this short. I like the JETS, Jets. Short, pretty bearish here, right? Couldn't break out over 21, trending down over the last week and a half or 2-3 weeks. Kind of holding up here. Doesn't really keeps testing this. How many times is this going to continue to test here before it breaks down? I actually like this short on any little buyback, any little bounce off this, because I just don't think this level is going to hold. To be quite candid, I just don't think it's going to hold, and I'd like to be short the JETS Jets. So now, what do you do with the JETS Jets? There's really not a lot you can do. The options in here are relatively liquid. There's not really a lot of volatility in here to really be, shake a stick at. So you really can't sell options in here. So really all you can do is buy some options. You really can't do it. Maybe a calendar spread if you want to get cute. But I don't really want to get cute. But it is a cheap trade if you really look at it. I mean, I can buy a 19 put for 66 cents. Now this might actually, tighten up a little bit when the market opens, but I don't see really an issue with that. And to be short the JETS Jets here, I kind of like it. The airline industries are, they're kind of on their ass right now. And I don't really see that changing in the next, few months. Now, I'm looking at the August options. Those are 40 days out. If you want to give yourself a little bit, I kind of don't, that seems a little short to me. I would prefer to go out to September and give yourself about 75 days. And that 19 put is going to run you, and you see there's a lot of open interest down here. A lot of open interest, so you're not alone. Good liquidity down here, and you're not alone. And so there are some definite decent positions being built in here on the short side out in September. And, it's only going to run you $84. And then if you want to even get cute, you could even do a slightly in the money and do like a 20. I wouldn't even do a 2015 because I think it's a little too wide and there's literally no bid. You could do like a 3 wide spread. Do like a 2018, right? For $1, instead of doing it for 203, you're going to do it for $1 and change. What is it? $1.20, whatever it is. So that's not even a bad trade. And then, you only need this thing to really drop down to about 18.50. Another buck or so, and then, you're actually in the money in that, and then you'd have to do as many as you want to do, right, or what you want to risk. So if you want to risk more, just do more contracts. I'd prefer, honestly, just buying the 19. It's a little cheaper. It's a little out of the money, but I prefer the 19 because it's cheaper, and you're not really buying an in-the-money option and actually paying a little bit extra premium for it. So you're kind of trying to do that sort of thing. So that's what I kind of like in the Jets. As far as a short. Now, I did like the XLE, and I'll put that one up here. Now, I'm already long that, and I already own stock in the XLE. But the thing I like about the XLE is, to me, this looks bullish to me. You have this trend down. So if you were actually to draw a channel here, so let's act like a and let's do some third grade. Let's paint some charts. I know I make fun of people about this, but the problem, the reason I do is because a lot of people paint charts, but then they never do anything about it. That's why I make fun of people who paint charts, because 90% of them who sit and paint charts and do all this bullshit that they do on their streams and everything else, they never say, well, what's the trade, right? What's the trade? I don't care. Granted, here's the channel, right? Okay, yeah, all right. How nice, very nice. But then you also have, the last few days here, since the beginning of the month, it's actually been trending back up again, even though you had that big sell-off. we'll see if this can actually bounce. I think if this bounces here and this breaks out above 92, you could have a pretty decent, almost like an ascending triangle, even like on a short term, like right here, right, and then here's your up arrow, right? If you want to really get right, wow. But I like this long. I actually like this long, especially like down in this area, down below 90. Kind of like it long there. Think this is looking, going to turn a little bullish here. We had this big run. You had this big run, and then, they kind of chopped it down, but then was able to rally and come back. And I think we may get another leg up, and especially with all the crap going on in Europe right now, that's got to make the market for oil a little stronger, because, it's a little inflationary right out there, I think, with all the way these political parties have actually, won. They all won saying they're going to spend money on shit for people. They're going to give shit for free. And people love free shit until they have to pay for it. So anyway, I kind of like the XLE long. And how we get long the XLE, XLE had decent volatility in it. There's nothing really with any volatility in it anymore anyway. So it's really, but I actually like the trade I like in the XLE here. I actually like selling the puts. I like selling and being a little aggressive. I like selling the 90s. Because if I sell a 90 put for $1, let's say I sell it for $1.75, right? That's going to put my cost basis down around $88 and change, whereas kind of really I want to buy it. So where I would want to buy the stock, and and if it rallies and it moves before I actually want to execute and buy it, I make money. So I kind of like that trade. But on the other side of that, I like selling the 90s, but I'm also a person that likes to hedge my bets a little bit. I like selling the 95. I kind of like that strangle, that 95-90 strangle. What's also not a bad trade as well is a ratio. So instead of just we sell 289s. Oh well, I gotta clear this out. I forgot that Thinkorswim did that. We sell 289s. Oh God, man, am I bad at this? What just happened? What the hell just happened to my frickin'... Oh, I did the... oh, God. Oh, man. I forgot how quirky this could be. That's why I hate doing option stuff on Thinkorswim. Tasty Trade has the option stuff figured out. But the ratio, so we sell 289s. So we sell 2 of these. All right, here's what we're going to do. Shame on me. Shame on me for not being prepared. But I was in the mood to do some streaming today, because I haven't streamed in months. Months. I have not streamed in months. But I was in the mood. And so I was like, I'm streaming. But you got to have Tasty Trade if you're going to talk about options, because they do have... Now, although I'm not a fan of a lot of their strategies lately, and let's be frank, I was a little ticked off at the last few things that they kind of encountered on, being those mini things. They did that micro exchange stuff, and that blew up. And then their whole crypto platform, they completely bailed on everybody. I had a bunch of crypto with them, and then they just force liquidated me. And then after that, I kind of lost interest in them altogether, quite honestly. But let's let this load. But yeah, when we talk options, you got to talk Tasty Trade, because Thinkorswim interface kind of stinks when it comes to that. So you got to deal with me right now with this. So anyway, XLE, and then we're looking at a trade. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hold on. What is going on with this now? This is acting up. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Trying to get this to... It's loading, but it's just sitting here. What the heck is the story? Was this got problems now? Oh, that's what problem. Stupid dashboard. What is going on? It's not. Nothing's reacting. Oi! I love it, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. What the heck is going on? Why is this not? What is happening, man? It's not bringing up my... I don't know what's going on with this. This is aggravating. Technical difficulties. All right. Oh, blah, blah, blah.